C-10. Today we'll be putting our rear dual adjustable coilover shocks on the back of our C-10 from Viking. Alright guys, so we did not cover a whole lot of this whenever we were discussing the front shocks, but on the rear of the vehicle we're also going to be using a dual adjustable shock from Viking.
Alright guys, I'm kind of jumping ahead with this pic, so just disregard that it's already installed. But I was trying to explain about the knobs on these shocks. If you notice, the one on the left has a C and the one on the right has an R. The C is for compression, the R is for rebound. And each of these knobs have 19 clicks to where we can adjust how loose or stiff our compression is or our extension is.
So basically these will go together just like the other ones did. And we'll start out by having a jam nut or a locking collar, whichever one you would prefer to call it. And then we'll have the collar that actually has a sleeve for the spring. So again, when we install these, until we do the final fitment of the truck and we have all the weight on it to do ride height adjustments and everything, we will not put anti-seize on these shocks. That will help them from getting galded and stuff like that in the future when you're adjusting them and everything. But right now, with us just doing mock-up and stuff, that's just pretty much useless. So basically, we're going to get this on, and as before, we use the single little washer, which they consider a bearing on the front. But since there should be a lot of changes being made on the back at times, we want to be a little more cautious with that. And so we did upgrade, and what we'll be doing is we'll be going with a needle bearing setup. So we'll actually just have like a flat washer or a shim, the needle bearings themselves, and then a top. After that, we slide our trusty spring over, which is marked, as you can see. I don't know if y'all can make that out or not. It says Viking 250. Just like on the front ones, we'll just take the retainer, slide it through. Voila, it's together. So, in addition to this, we also went with a relocation kit for our upper and lower shock mounts. So the lower mounts that came in the kit, we had a couple of hiccups with. Alright guys, what we're going to do is we need to install these collars into the bushing of our shock rod ends. So we have a rubber bushing, and then this collar is what the bolt's going to travel through. So instead of beating on this, we're going to apply just a small amount of dielectric grease to lube it up. And using an arbor press, we're going to press the collar into the bushing. Like so. Then we'll flip it over and go to the other side. So with everything ready, we're going to go ahead and put our upper shock mount in using the hardware that came in the kit.
So when I went to put the shock in the lower mount, it wouldn't fit. And the only thing I could figure out was, hey, the only difference between now and the mock-up was I put the collar in.
Alright guys, we had another hiccup. So, yesterday you noticed that I had put the shock plate and the relocation brackets on the passenger side, and Daryl had to do rework today because when we did the original mock-up, the bolts were too short, so that's why we went with the knob lock and a longer bolt. What we didn't account for was we did not have the collars in the bushings when we did mock-up. Therefore, once we tightened all the brackets together, even with the spacer, with the collar installed in the bushing, there was no way to get the shock in and out unless you loosened up all the other bolts. And I'm too fucking lazy for that. So, what we're doing to remedy that is we're shimming it with a standard washer. So now, we're actually going to have our spacers, then we're going to put a washer between each one, and then we're going to fasten it to the mount. So here we go. Alright guys, we're back and Daryl's here. Say hi.
Hello, welcome to Bad Attitude C-10.
So while I was showing y'all how we remedied the shimming process on our mounts, Daryl went on ahead and reworked this one that's on the passenger side, and now he's going to go ahead and install the passenger side coilover.
Alright guys, if y'all noticed, the shock is installed now, and Daryl can actually reach either knob to make adjustments of rebound or compression on the fly. This makes this setup give us a lot of adjustability and simplicity to tuning our chassis.
With the passenger side done, Daryl moved over to installing the coilover on the driver's side. So there you have it. Our dual adjustable Viking coilover shocks are now installed in the Bad Attitude C-10. With that and the tubular trailing arms completely installed, our Ford 9-inch is now ready to go. Thanks for watching, and always please like and subscribe. We'll see you next time when we do follow up finishing doing the panhard bar.